A decisão devia ser essa.
What happened?
I feel
Deathly.
deathly.
And you look it. Let me examine you. Please don't tell me that you've returned to your old habits.
Pupil.
The pupil is dilated. The
Forehead.
temperature appears to be normal. I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats.
Measure pulse rate by counting the heartbeats for 10 seconds. Start stopwatch.
A weak pulse, around 50 beats per minute. But you're dying, Holmes. Your pulse rate is dropping. We need to get you to the hospital immediately.
The antidote. Give it to me.
The antidote? You mean that you're poisoned?
Now. Please.
Queres que eles...
Drink it all. Don't tell me that you did this to yourself.
Pois!
Hemlock and Toda. I was compelled to.
Holmes, imagine if I'd not returned home when I did. What might have happened?
I knew that you would.
Este Sherlock.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade is here to see you.
Mr. Holmes is unable to see anyone at the moment. He is unwell.
A good day, Inspector.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to find you here. I need your help. This is a strange one. We have brought in 2 young bankers from the city, sons of lords, members of the chamber, and so on and so forth. They were found stranded in a rowing boat that was drifting on the Thames.
A romantic escapade with an unhappy ending, Lestrade.
What? Well, yes, they were both in the bath, but... what?
As I said,
And they were tied together.
you are lacking in imagination, Inspector.
Well, no, I'm not. Anyway, there was a banner flapping about in the boat with the RMS Oceanic printed on it and signed by the Merry Men.
The Oceanic. Isn't that the largest steamer ever built?
Yes, and these 2 young banker chaps are sons of the owners of the White Star Line, the company that built it. There are rumours of corruption.
I'm not interested in politics, Lestrade.
I'll keep it then. Here's another one that's a bit more complex and maybe to your liking. It's a murder, but we're unable to find any weapon. We haven't touched anything. It's at the Roman Baths in Strand Lane.
A murder, a vanishing weapon, the Roman baths. That's for us. Watson, fetch your hat.
Deixa-me ver o que é que nós temos aqui. Bloodbath. Pronto, já temos o nome da missão. Bloodbath. The ancient Roman bath at Strand Lane is soon to be reopened to the public. But what mysteries and forgotten curses might it conceal? Only one person can discover the truth. Vamos lá.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Nem imaginas, meu caro colega. Olha, está aqui o
On the
Toby.
sofa for the 3rd time today. Well, don't be surprised if Watson sits on you again.
Vamos já para Strand Lane Bath, ver realmente o que é que aconteceu ali naquela cena, aquele centro de banhos, aquele spa, aquela sei lá o quê. Ok, isto está a modo do aspecto de um spa. Parece-nos que é um spa. Estátuas greco-romanas. Digo eu.
Beautiful place.
É
With a dreadful
muito
murder.
bonito.
The body of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe
Sir
is still in the
Rodney
steam room.
Bentcliffe.
It has not been touched, per your usual instructions, Mr. Holmes. I shall be waiting for you here, but please hurry.
Despacha-te. Algum suspeito?
Are you able to identify the men who were with the victim in the steam room?
Yes, the manager of the bath, Sir
Gregory
Pitkin,
Pitkin.
a lad from the city council, Garrow, and an archaeologist by the name of Blinkhorn. I think the plump one, Garrow, did it. He doesn't seem right in the head.
Well, we shall see.
Este já está a tirar conclusões a dizer que foi um deles, que acha que foi um deles. A arma do crime.
You found no murder weapon?
No, and that's why I called you. All 3 witnesses and the victim were locked in when the murder occurred, and they remained so until we got here. We even had to pick the lock to enter.
I see.
Cá para mim tem alguma entrada secreta. Ou um veneno, provavelmente. Não sei. Witnesses.
Was there anyone else here, apart from those gentlemen in the steam room?
Yes, a Mr. Phillips.
Ok, então ele é uma
He was the
witness.
one who called the police. He'll be able to give you
Uma
more
testemunha.
details.
Ok, pode-nos dar mais detalhes. Este é
What
Watson.
should we do next, Holmes?
Este.
Any progress, Mr. Holmes?
Eu nem sei daqui. Já me estás a perguntar mais coisas. Find the missing weapon that was used to kill Sir Rodney Bentcliffe. Vou falar aqui com o Mr. Phillips.
Good day to you, Mr. Phillips. My name is Sherlock
Sherlock
Holmes,
Holmes.
and this is my colleague, Dr. Watson. Would you be so kind as to answer our questions?
Certainly, sir.
Tell us what happened.
Please tell us the chain of events from the start of your day. Everything that you can remember. The slightest detail may be of importance.
Very well, sir. I came in at 6:30 this morning, and I opened the baths. I made sure that the room was clean, and I prepared the towels. The brazier was still burning.
There was a fire burning all night.
Yes, Sir Gregory ordered me to light the brazier yesterday. It takes some time until the room is fully heated. The gentlemen had a meeting at 9 o'clock this morning. I wanted everything to be perfect. They'd been in the steam room for 20 minutes when I
20
suddenly
minutos que
heard
tiveram lá.
shouting. I ran to the door, but it was closed. I couldn't open it. So I ran out to the street to call for the police. One constable came up, and then there were others, and they picked the lock. Then Inspector Lestrade came along, and he told us that nothing should be touched.
Were there any other visitors? Houve mais visitantes?
Did you receive any other visitors this morning?
No one. Until these gentlemen arrived. Sir Gregory was the first. And then, while we were discussing work details, Sir Rodney and Mr. Blinkhorn arrived, and Mr. Garrow followed.
And what happened after that?
4
I
pessoas.
waited until they'd all entered the steam room, then I returned to the hall. The changing room door was open, so I should hear if they needed anything.
You would have heard if someone had entered or left the steam room.
Certainly, sir. These doors make a lot of noise.
Ok, se alguém tivesse entrado ou saído, ele conseguiria ouvir porque as portas fazem muito barulho. Realmente um bocado estranho. Light wrinkles. Scissor. Oh. Hã? O que é que está a acontecer? É um conjunto de informação que aquilo nos dá. É isso? Pois não dá para eu carregar, é nada. Vive sozinho. Um corte de tesoura. Grooms himself. Corta o cabelo sozinho, ok. Fastidious. Starched collar. Shiny buttons. Ok. Manchester City. Olha, perdeu a Champions no sábado. Mais, falta aí qualquer coisa. Oh, é isto. Telegram sent today. Vamos entrar então na Steam Room, ver o que é que está lá. Não está aqui nada. Ou isto tinha, não é? Champagne bottle. Wine
Champagne
level.
for a special occasion.
Cork.
Unopened. It was intended to be enjoyed after the steam
Ainda
session.
não foi aberta. Melted
An
ice.
ice bucket to keep the champagne chilled.
Exatamente. O que é que temos aqui? É só uma lâmpada. Clothes.
Expensive clothes belonging to one of the men from the steam room.
Ah, pertence a um dos homens que estava lá. Toalhas. Aqui provavelmente não temos nada. Ou temos já aqui mais roupas.
Clothes belonging to one of the suspects.
Ok, aqui também.
These clothes belong to one of the suspects from the steam room.
Temos 3 conjuntos de roupa. Mas eu acho que eram 4. Segundo o empregado, eu julgo que ele disse 4 nomes, 4 pessoas. Ok, estão ali 2, pelo menos já vi 2. Vamos ver. Oi. Ah, arrancaram o olho.
Lord, Holmes.
Ah, death with a peculiarly Roman piquancy.
like the one you almost had an hour ago.
Let's
Pois.
forget about that.
Grid.
The grid cannot be removed.
Não pode ser removida a grid. Deixa-me só verificar o que há para aqui à volta. Steam Switch. Builder's
G.
Plate.
Newell and Sons, Steam Specialists,
Seattle,
WA.
WA. Steam Switch.
With the steam on, I'm unable to see even a few feet away.
Ou seja, o suspeito, o assassino, aproveitou-se do momento em que havia steam, muito vapor, para matar, que as outras pessoas nem conseguiam ver. Provavelmente foi isso. Para fazer
The
isso.
brazier is still burning. The heat here is extreme.
Melted
I will need
metal.
something to pick up this melted metal.
Item required.
It is too hot. I cannot reach into it.
Pois. Ok. Glasses. Vai ter aqui uns óculos. E estão partidos. Thick
These
glass.
lenses are for myopia.
Miopia.
The wearer
Miopia.
is short-sighted.
Ok. Não consegue ver ao perto.
One lens is cracked, probably
Mas à
due to
partida.
the temperature of the brazier.
Ah, provavelmente pela temperatura. Ok. Nada. Vamos investigar aqui o blood.
I should check this blood sample at Baker Street.
Ok, recolhemos aqui sangue. Vamos analisar em casa. Olha, está uma chave ali. Espera aí, não se via assim? Não via-se. Não.
This
Key.
key was covered in blood. I should ask Phillips about it.
Ok. Vamos perguntar ao recepcionista. Right hand.
Some
Dirt.
dirt or earth. I'll take a sample.
Olha, mais uma análise. Dirt. Oi. Ring
Look,
finger.
Watson. He was wearing a ring. He very likely removed it before,
Before
the
the
steam
steam
session.
section. Wrist.
Death is very recent, between 30 minutes to 1 hour ago.
Blood.
The wound should not have bled so profusely. This pool is rather large.
Ok. Face.
There was only one hit from the weapon. It pierced the right eye straight through to the brain. Death would have been instantaneous.
Caraca. Que horror.
I think we have found all that we can here, taking into consideration the abysmal lighting. Constable, we have finished with the body.
We don't have many leads here.
What concerns me is that we still have to find the murder weapon.
Mr. Holmes?
Please have the body removed without disturbing anything else in the room.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
I was wondering, Holmes, it's fairly reckless to carry out a murder inside a closed chamber. Why do you suppose they did it?
There are a great many possibilities. The murderer was in a hurry, or he is an artist, or a ghost,
Pois.
or he wanted to ensure that I'd be brought in on the case.
Probably the latter. You are ridiculous. Do you know that?
Seja
The
ridículo.
weapon is nowhere to be found.
Agora vamos falar com os gajos. Blood on towel.
Blood traces wiped on the towel.
Pois. Isto também pode ser ele só ter ido lá junto do corpo. Já estar morto e ele ter ido lá.
It's horrible. Sir Rodney, he's dead. Can't we speak about it somewhere else?
I'm in shock. I don't want to talk.
Ok. Mr.
It's
Blincorn.
horrible. I can't talk at the moment.
Pronto, ninguém pode falar. Agora temos outras coisas para fazer lá fora, por isso vamos lá. Agora temos uma cutscene.
Mr. Holmes, I should like to take the suspects to the yard. You can interrogate them there. Any
Okay.
objections?
Wait. Se eu sei wait, o que é que acontece?
Please wait. I need to do something first.
Deixa-me falar aqui com este. Assim, room keys.
How many people have keys to the steam room?
We have just the one key for now, which Sir Gregory gave to me.
So, this morning you opened the steam room, and then?
I put the key inside my desk, but when they called, I couldn't find it. It had disappeared. I don't know where it is.
Did you leave the baths at any time, or receive any visitors?
No, sir, I did not.
Left work. Blood sample. Blood key. Chilled champagne. Morning telegram. Heart sample. Eu acho que é morning telegram.
You are not telling the truth, Mr. Phillips. You left your work this morning, and you went to the post office, where you dispatched a telegram at around 7:30.
But how could you... No,
The telegram was for someone in Manchester.
Mr. Holmes, it's I'll tell you everything. I left the baths at 7:20. My sister wrote to me yesterday, and she needed a reply, or our mother is unwell. I was away for 20 minutes, and I closed the baths on my way out.
Did you receive a reply from your sister?
No, she wasn't meant to. I just told her to pawn my old school uniform so that she could pay for the medication.
Did you check to see if the key was still in your desk when you returned?
No, I didn't. Please, Mr. Holmes, don't tell the police about this. Sir Gregory would give me the sack. I need this job.
I see.
Who brought champagne?
There is a bottle of champagne on ice in the changing room. Do you have any idea who left it there?
There is? Are you quite certain? I didn't pay any attention. Do you believe that it's important?
Pode ser.
All these events are bad for the baths. And my job.
Mr. Holmes?
Have you found something interesting?